Hi, Vijay Mistry here, preparing you for growth and excellence. Now, today I want to share with you the 5 tips that is going to double your productivity. So, these tips will help you to double your productivity. This is one of the key challenges I note in very many organizations which basically struggle. Now, before I share these strategies with you, please make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, because that only inspires me to do more videos of this nature and help you become a highly effective entrepreneur, leader, manager, director, whatever your position is. It will just take you to another level altogether. So I would really appreciate if you can hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. So let's go straight into what these 5 tips are. The first and foremost, which I want to share with you, is energy levels. Now, why am I bringing energy levels? Because everything to do with productivity starts with having a right state of energy. So, what do I mean by energy levels, and how can you really maintain those high level of energy levels? First and foremost is you need to have a compelling purpose in place. You need to make sure whatever your purpose is, you need to be purpose driven. That is going to ignite a different level of enthusiasm, a different level of vibrancy, and you'll be completely connected with your particular purpose. So, ascertain and define your purpose. Number two, which is very important, is to ensure that you eat healthy. Now, why do I say eat healthy? Because think of a time when you overate, or you ate the wrong foods, or you had burgers or chips or whatever it is, some junk food, and think back to the time after your meal. In most instances, people feel they're bloated, they have less energy, obviously, and they feel lethargic as well. So it's very important that you consume the right foods. Avoid snacking as much as possible, and make sure that you eat healthy foods, with whatever the time intervals that you have your foods. So avoid snacking, because this will help you to maintain your energy levels. Another key point is, obviously, you and I know that exercise plays a key role. So even if it is a half an hour walk or whatever exercise that you do, you have to make sure that you mobilize your body as well. The movement within your body itself will help you to elevate your state as well, and will help you to have that heightened level of intelligence as well. Another key element in energy is to make sure you keep on hydrating yourself. I know many people, they don't hydrate themselves. Just having some water, and this in itself will help you to be more effective. In fact, there is a piece of research as well that whenever you keep yourself hydrated, it can give you about 14% more effectiveness. So keep yourself hydrated. This in itself, my dear friends, will help you to be more connected as well. Now, the second tip to double your productivity is to come up with 3 lists. Now, in seminars or leadership coaching, I normally ask this question, that do you have a to-do list? And I get many people who say they have a to-do list. So that's the first list that you must have. Every Sunday, preferably, or you could have it early Monday morning, is to make sure you plan ahead. So you have a to-do list, making sure that you have your priorities in place, knowing what you are supposed to do. The second list that I would like you to consider is a to be list. What do I mean by a to be list? Is that a to do list is transactional, that is the processes. The to be list is transformational. So here's what I mean, is that what do you want to see yourself, by way of identity, by way of brand, whatever it is, what would you like to see for your particular self? Have a to be list. The transformational itself, that in itself will unlock another level of potential altogether. And I believe this is so powerful. Come up with a to be list. Your identity, your company's identity, where do you see it going? It could be a year from now, 2 years from now. Have a to be list and have it with you in a condensed format. And the third list which many I know don't have, is a not to do list. So, what do I mean by a not to do list? What are some of the tasks that you can outsource or delegate? Is there something that is really taking a lot of your time? So, a not to do list, every 6 weeks, or you could revisit every 2 months, depending on whatever your circumstances are. But if you have a not to do list, what's going to happen is you will free your time to do more productive work. And I'm telling you the impact it's going to make, the benefit this three lists will have is completely game changing in my opinion. And I've seen many organizations, many leaders become highly productive just by having these lists. So work on having these three lists. Now, the third tip which I want to share with you, which is going to help you double your productivity, is thought boundary strategy. Now, I know this may sound weird, and this is just my own terminology, but what do I mean by thought boundary strategy? Every single day, we have on average 60,000 thoughts every single day. When you give your undivided attention to a task, what will happen is you will be able to focus on that particular task. So here's where the challenge is that while you're doing a particular task, executing a particular plan of action, whatever it is for you, here's what happens is certain thoughts come in your way. And when those thoughts come in your way, that distracts the attention from that particular project. So what you need to do is make sure that you have that boundary driven strategy in place. This is why I call it thought boundary strategy. So here's what you can do in order for you to develop this particular skill set. And by the way, I use it and it has made an immense impact to whatever I do. So this is why I wanted to share with you. But I want to give you some tools as to how you can really have that thought boundary strategy while you are in that particular work mode. What you need to do is every single day go into silence and be present. So here's what you need to do. Take 5 minutes in the morning, or whenever you get a chance, but go into silence. Initially you'll have all sorts of thoughts coming in your mind, but there'll be a certain stage where you'll go into a deeper level. It's going to be like a river which is completely calm. So you need to go into that particular silent mode. When you do that, what is going to happen is you will be able to be more effective and you'll be able to focus better as well. So go into this silence mode. It's impact driven, it is powerful, and it is going to change completely how you perform in your particular tasks. And here's what's going to happen. Again, it depends on individuals, but it will take you about 3 to 4 weeks to really experience that particular impact. So I press upon you to invest only 5 or 10 minutes. Go into silence and be present, which means there's no thoughts. Try going into a state where there are no thoughts, because that is going to really help you to concentrate and help you to focus into that particular task. That is where the immersion really comes in play. Now, the fourth one, let's shift gears and move to the fourth one, because I want to share these 5 tips because I know this is going to help you to really become highly productive. The fourth tip, which is going to help you double your productivity, is to break your day up into smaller blocks. So what do I mean by break your day into smaller blocks? Chunk your day into preferably, ideally 6, or maybe you could do 7 immersion sessions, as I put it. So in other words, take at least about 50 to 53 minutes of work related focus. So in other words, you are completely chunking yourself, and this is where the snowball effect will come into play, and I'll share with you how. Is that when you are on one particular task for 52 to 53 minutes, you will be able to see firsthand for yourself how productive you are. So 52 to 53 minutes of immersion. completely out of any distractions. If it is email checking, keep it towards either lunchtime or towards the end of the day, whatever you feel is right, but make sure at that particular point in time there are no social interactions, there is nothing. And here's where the snowball effect comes into play, is that if you tell your colleagues that this is the strategy you are having, and your executives as well, is that this is the type of strategy that you're using. And by the way, you can ask them to watch this particular video as well, because what I'm sharing with you is a deep coaching strategy which is going to help you to become productive. When you have your colleagues and your executives, whoever it is, your subordinates as well, when they know about this, they will also practice. Because at the end of the day, it's not only about your productivity, but the productivity of your team as well. This is where you can leverage, this is where you can grow, this is where you will see that your margins will improve, your cash flows will improve, everything will improve. Now, many ask me this question, Vijay, what about those spontaneous times, where there's something urgent? I get it. Everybody has those moments. Here's why you need to have a little bit of slack. So, what do I mean by slack is you could have 5, 10, 15 minutes after 2, 3 sessions, you could have a slack. But as much as possible, if you can have that discipline of going into immersion, then you will see that others will even try not to distract you, unless it's an emergency. That's a different case. But you will see not only your productivity, but even your colleagues' productivity, your executives, your subordinates, everybody's productivity will increase. Another question I normally get asked is, what about meetings? This works with meetings. I'll be doing a separate video exclusively on how you can have a highly productive meeting. But for now, if you use this, it's going to really be a game changer for you. Just chunking, 53 minutes and 7 minutes, you can have your water break. You can, just make sure you stretch yourself. So you're reviving your energy level back to that particular highest level of state. So that is very powerful, and it's going to be impact driven. And the final point that I want to share with you is a very key aspect of productivity, and that is measure. You must measure whatever it is, whatever your outcome is, and you need to find out exactly how productive you are as well. So that effectiveness will increase over time. Now, here's what I want you to do when it comes to measure. Ask these 3 questions. The first and foremost is that have I been effective? So, in other words, have I been really effective in your particular initiative, whatever your job role is? Have I been effective? You need to be very specific. Now, when you ask that one particular question, straight away you will see your mind will go into certain gaps as well. You will see that you might have identified certain gaps. The second question you need to find out is that was I more effective than what I was last week or last month, depending on whatever timeline you want to have your measures taken place. In other words, how much more effective are you? This is a realization. It's not a resolution, but a realization that you are improving over time, because what get measures progresses. So at the end of the day, when you ask that particular question, what's going to happen is you'll see the building blocks of productivity increasing over time. And the third question you need to really ask is that what can I specifically do to become more productive next week or next month? So these 3 questions are going to form like a bedrock. And if you have real meaningful interpretation and feedback that you are getting for yourself, meaningful feedback, then you will see the impact it will make as you move forward. Within the next 3 to 6 months, you will see your productivity at a completely different level, but also your other team members and your company as well. As such, if they use this, it will bring it to the next level altogether. So I press upon you to work on these 5 tips, which is going to double your productivity. And I hope this helps. Bye for now.